FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
LasVegasDiscount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. LasVegasDiscount.net. LasVegasDiscount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit LasVegasDiscount.net.
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
You are listening to Ken Norton on Fight Net Radio. And I've been thinking that I would come out of retirement just to knock out Lee Honey.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender.
If you heard that, that's Fight Net Radio going live on the webpage. Hi, Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. You better not be drinking coffee if you're going to bed.
I am drinking coffee.
You can't drink coffee because you're going to go to bed.
I'll be fine.
You have to wake up at dark shitty. Go to FightNetRadio.com. Check out everything that's going on. We want you there. We want you involved. We want you on everything. With that said, welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche. My name's Lee. That's Andrew, bringing you the wonderful world of boxing. How are you today, Andrew?
Doing good, Lee.
So you don't sound it. You sound like a man ready for bed. So we have a couple of stories to keep you guys up to date on. We'll pull a couple of pieces straight off of our Facebook page. I'm not going to log in right now because I'm having technical video issues, or actually should see technical computer issues. We'll just get right into some of the prevailing stories. Everything you want to talk about is on our timeline, right, Andrew?
It should be. Yeah, yes.
Okay, cool. So go to fightnetradio.com. You can check out everything. I'll start right here. I love this story. I found it on accident before we started the show while I was waiting for my computer to update and make my life awful. Joshua versus Ruiz, with Tyson Fury and Oscar De La Hoya giving their actual opinions on the fight, which I think are fantastic. I'll cut to the chase for everybody and read you first Tyson Fury's comments. I don't think it's a good fight. I just think that they should pay Luis Ortiz extra money and fight him. I think Andy Ruiz just doesn't hit hard enough. He's got quick hands, but he's not the fittest. Doesn't look the part. But he's well-schooled guy and all of that. But if Joseph Parker can outbox him that easy, then what's AJ going to do to him? But I understand it's short notice and he's saving the day. So full props to him. Hopefully he does well. First off, let's start with Tyson Fury's comments. What do you think of the old Fuhrer's comments?
Look, I pay Luis Ortiz. I mean, damn, they try to give the man $7 million. How much more are they supposed to pay him? I'm hearing they took Andrew Ruiz because of the style, Lee. He's an inside fighter. He's not, he's more of a face first. He's not a boxer. And Joshua don't have a lot of time to get ready to prepare for this new style that he's going to face. So they took the easier guy. Now, with that being said, just like Tyson Fury, you got to give credit for Ruiz for stepping up and taking the fight. Hope he does good. It's going to be a very tough fight for him, though. You know, after looking up Ruiz, not only has he never fought in a man like Anthony Joshua, he's never fought in as big as a fighter. A lot of the fighters Ruiz has fought in are his size. So there's just so many obstacles he's going in against in a few weeks here. I have Joshua winning this fight. But it's like I said, Lee, it's so fast. What were they really supposed to do? The $7 million to Ortiz, right. They tried to save.
You're not going to get out of an MSG date. I mean, I get the whole thing.
Yeah, they tried to save the fight. That's their offer to save the fight right there.
They tried to get Ortiz and make it a super fight. Well, let's cover two things. First of all, I apologize. That was Dillian White's comments.
There you go. Okay.
If you're watching on video, what you're looking at is Tyson Fury's comment. So Tyson Fury didn't actually make a comment. He made a meme, and I recommend go watch the video on this. I'll probably cut this out. Remember the kid from Up? He's now grown up and is fighting Anthony Joshua for the world title. It's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, he looks just like
on the topic that we addressed the first time, and I actually nailed that Andrew keeps pointing out that I got. And of course, this article is coming to us from badlefthook.com. Why, Andrew?
Fuckboxingscene.com.
Correct. On the topic, on the Ortiz topic, Eddie Hearn has said repeatedly this week that he offered $7 million for the fight. Wow, Ortiz got offered $7 million. They did offer to overpay him. If you're still working on the Ortiz camp's initial claim being lowballed, you're working on outdated information. Ortiz's manager even did his best to track back his statement after Hearn threatened to go public with what he had really been offered, which he eventually did anyway. I guess Ortiz could have been offered $10 million, $20 million. Ortiz's career high purse is nowhere even in the same sport as $7 million, let alone the same ballpark.
Yep.
And I agree with
500,000, Lee.
Who wrote this article? Scott Chris. Kudos to Scott Chris. Good article. Right. I mean, that's reality. That's reality.
500 grand is the most money he's ever made to face Deontay Wilder for the WBC title. Look, this is going to end in a lawsuit. I truly believe Luis Ortiz is suing somebody over this. You're talking about $7 million. I don't give a shit who they had, what plans for him. That was his retirement, you guys. He's not going to get that back. You don't go. Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz doesn't go from 500K to 7 million, right, Lee? That fight wasn't that good. They're not upping the prices to what, 1,200 ringside? Hello, dummies. Joshua was giving you 7 million. It ends in a lawsuit. I don't know who he's suing. I don't know who's gonna take the fall for that, but believe me, Ortiz is gonna be talking to somebody when he finds out the official offer was 7. Remember, he was pissed off about 5 million. Now he's saying the official offer is 7.
So, Andrew, being that this is part 1 of a 3-part series show for us this week, right, with the big fight week and all, and we'll talk about it a little more in detail. I put in a favor, as many of you are aware, a longtime contributor to the show and a regular caller on this show. I know Andrew and this guy don't particularly get along, but I sent a text, told him we were doing a show. He was a little pissed off we started late. I'm just warning you, Andrew, already. Joining us live from Las Vegas to actually read his comments about the upcoming Anthony Joshua fight, on the telephone, Oscar De La Hoya.
Hey.
What's
Were you
up,
in bed,
Oscar?
fat boy? Huh? Were you in bed? Huh?
Yeah, yes, I was.
Bitch. Why weren't you waiting for my call, eh?
He didn't even tell me you were calling. Sorry about that.
You should always think that I'm calling, eh? Don't fuck around with me. It's your fault. I know the truth about this show. The white guy, he makes all the jokes. He's funny. Ha, ha, ha. I know the truth. You're the brains behind this shit. Tell everybody.
So where are we going? What are we doing with us?
Hey.
What?
Hey. Your white guy called me and said he wanted my feedback on this fucking heavyweight fighter. Okay? So do you want my fucking comments?
Yes, sir. Yes, I do.
Here's what I said, okay? I'll read it verbatim. That's a big word.
That's a
Probably
big
can't
word.
even say it, right? I wish Andy Ruiz all the best. Ruiz comes to the fight. You know what I mean? He's a real Chicano, man. He really goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
you know what
sir.
I'm saying?
Yes,
All right.
sir.
It's going to be difficult because Anthony Joshua, he's that big, tall, 6'7" dude. And he's muscular and shit. And he's built like a... And this is a direct quote, eh? Get it right, because they got it right in the article, okay? So you want to write this shit down? You're a writer, right? So write this shit down. You ready? He's built like a freaking goddess.
Oh, no.
A goddess, dude.
No.
Built like a freaking goddess. You know?
I don't like where this is going, Oscar.
Then you have Ruiz. He's like a little shorter and stubbier, eh? A little, but he can fight, right? I think it's going to be a great fight. But Anthony Joshua, he's a goddess. Is that enough shit for your fucking show now? Are you happy? Are you happy
Yes.
I called in? You know I have a fight, right? How come you're not talking about my fight?
We will be shortly, Oscar.
Better. I know where you live. Probably going to Bob's fucking event on Saturday, aren't you, bitch?
That was Oscar De La Hoya joining us via satellite and telephone and whatever other satellite device we have. And I quote, goddess.
Yeah, I thought that was going to go down this dark road fast.
And kudos to Scott Christ, who wrote this article, because at the end of the Oscar statement, anyways, other than that, oh, wait, where is it? Here it is.
Yeah.
I love this. Not sure if, in air quotes, goddess is what I'd go with, but you know what I mean. Wonder Woman is cool. Good for you, Scott Christ. It was low-hanging fruit. I probably wouldn't have gone with the Wonder Woman joke myself with the Marvel movie out. I might have gone with, I don't know, Captain Marvel maybe. But good for you, bro, for calling Oscar out on saying he's built like a freaking goddess. I can't even believe. I wish that audio actually existed in time and space. Okay? And he said this. He said this at the presser. So now I'm going to have to sit through his fucking presser and find this clip of him calling Anthony Joshua a goddess.
A freaking goddess.
A freaking goddess. And it's the way he said it. I'll say it exactly as he said. Pretty much, I think Oscar nailed it when he was on the phone. He's built like a freaking goddess. You know? No, bro, I don't know. He doesn't have breasts. I mean, I'm going to go way out on a limb here. Oscar, you're the best.
Hey, I'm not off the line, eh? That fucking white guy made jokes about what I said. I meant what I said. He's a goddess. Do you think... Hey, Andrew, you listening to me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so here's my question, okay? Mr. Funny, haha, guys, okay? Do you think Anthony Joshua knows how to operate like spoons and spatulas?
Oh, no. No.
I personally couldn't leave it alone. That's a shout out to the FNR regulars. Don't ever let it be said I don't do enough of that crazy shit for you guys. I don't know why you... Okay, so if this is like your first time listening to the show to this point and you're still dialed in, this is Andrew's favorite bit that I do, hands down, outside of Bob. Oh yeah, Bob Arum, he probably should be joining us. I do have a press release from his company somewhere about a fight that nobody can explain to me in their right mind.
I think Oscar is going to come out soon and go, haha, fooled you guys. I just said goddess to see if Floyd would say something.
Right? I wanted to retweet.
Joke on Floyd.
Jokes on Floyd. He can't read anyway. What a dipstick. A goddess, bro. Should we cover this video? Because this might be the greatest thing that happened all week.
That dude's awesome. Blake the Beast is awesome.
So if you're watching, this is a great reason why you should get the video. And how to get the videos, go to fightnetradio.com. Click on the Facebook link. This will probably wind up on YouTube. I don't think I'm going to get an infringement rule. This was posted by Loyalty Pond. The fact that it only has 1,388 views is criminal, and I'm going to try to make this bad boy go cataclysmically. So I don't even know how to set this up. Let's see if I got this right. Blake McCarran, right, is fighting at the Stockton Arena on Saturday. He is a cruiserweight, but apparently he's sponsored by Loyalty Pond, who posted this video that they clearly made. The video is mind-bendingly awesome in all the right reasons. Andrew found it.
Aren't you cruiserweight shaped like the Beast in Loyalty Pond?
Yeah, that's me.
You got a fight coming up on May 4th, right?
Yeah, I do on ESPN.
How do I get tickets to that?
Stockton Arena. They can go to Ticketmaster.com.
Yeah, I'd love to make a loan on that belt of yours.
No, absolutely not. I'm actually here to add some more bling to balance it out.
I can help you out there.
I don't know, if it's a little light. That's more like it.
You sure you don't need a show with that?
Nah, could definitely use some more stunner shades though. This feel right.
Well, good luck May 4th, man.
Creed 3, watch out.
So let me set this up because some of you might not be watching the video. So Blake here walks into a pawn shop wearing his, what is it, WBU, like he's not a real champ, right? He's WBS champion of some kind, right? Walks into a pawn shop, no shirt, with the belt on, and he's tatted up like he just got out of like jail, right? He definitely looks like he owns a Rottweiler, right? Does he not look like a guy who owns a Rottweiler? Aren't you glad you stayed awake for this show, Andrew? I'm full of A material tonight. So Blake shows up. I guess the 2-year-old is in the baby seat in the back seat and is being guarded by the Rottweiler with the windows up and the car running. I want you guys to set the visual on Blake and how white trash Blake McCarran looks. I'm not saying Blake McCarran couldn't kick my ass because he clearly looks like a guy who could kick my ass. But he also looks like every joke I've ever made about somebody from the state of Florida. Would you not agree with the description I've given of Blake McCarran?
Yes, I was shocked when it said he was from Sacramento.
Right? Well, no, I've been to Sacramento.
No, but you're right on, Lee. Florida. I was thinking, I was not thinking Sacramento when I seen
Florida.
The guy.
And he's probably got, if this dude doesn't have an arrest sheet, I'd be shocked. Like, seriously.
He definitely reminded me of one of the guys Tommy Morrison fought on the way up in Rocky 5. Does
he not strike you as a guy that would have a black girlfriend? Right? He's that white. He's that guy.
A convertible Cadillac.
Right. Right. Go watch the video. I'm not doing.
I'm going for him. I'm going for him though.
I'm going for him too. I would go to Stockton just to meet him and see if you do a Fight Net radio. Like, bro, I can get you more than 1,600 views. Let me pan out an idea for you for a video here if you're just looking for exposure. I am all into Blake the Beast. Okay, he might be. It's only got 1,388 views, dude. That is criminal. I hope it's running on local TV. That's all I could say on the topic. Let's see, what else? No, I think we've had enough Oscar. I guess we can insert a commercial right here real quick. Hey, type in Fight Net Radio and then click on the events page. We have something we like to call a meet and drink.
I have so many questions for him. Like, I want to know if he went to school in Sacramento. Like, are all the teachers now seeing him doing that video? Because he wasn't an A student.
No.
Mr. McCarran does not look like...
He was trying to get off the mean streets of Sacramento by boxing, bro. You know that, right? That's how he came.
Yes. Yeah, no, it has to be. I would just love to see, did you go to school in Sacramento? Were they watching this commercial? They're like, fucking guy. There he is.
The mean streets of old Sacramento, bro. He came up the hard way before he got, prison tats, and he's a hot, sweaty mess. I don't know any other way to describe it. Go to fightnetradio.com, click on the Facebook page, click on the events page. Saturday, May 4th, it is still scheduled at this moment.
He picks, we didn't describe the necklaces. He picks two, what were they, Run DMC?
For he got necklaces, he got 3 necklaces, and then a pair of what I can only call pimp sunglasses.
Yeah, you go stunner shades. I need some stunner shades. It's going to be awesome if he's wearing that on Saturday, too.
So as I was watching the NBA playoffs, Andrew, here was the biggest shocking fact while watching Golden State win again easily.
Yeah.
Which was this. You have a lot of people that are white in the Bay Area. Like a shockingly high number of people in the Oakland. For those of you who don't know, they play in Oracle, right? And Oracle is smack ass dab in the middle of the hood. It is. Don't believe the hype. It's in the hood. It's like the Forum. It's stuck in the hood. You know why? The land was cheap. So the reason I bring that up, Andrew, I'm completely fascinated with the number of like waspy ass white dudes watching basketball. I mean, it was like watching a Milwaukee game. I mean, it was white. It was, bro, that's white.
There is, very expensive seats nowadays. So brings out a different crowd. There's still a good mix in the Bay Area, but I do get what you say. They've been talking about that for a while, how the higher prices brought a different crowd to Oracle. They don't feel it's as loud as it once was. But what are you gonna do?
Well, it's in the middle of a tech valley. So the trick to getting everybody over from Microsoft is just to raise the price on the seat to $1,000 a pop, and
exactly. Yeah,
keeps the hood out.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
I don't think they'll be at the Raiders game though, Andrew.
No, they were supposed to be at
the $35 seats.
They were supposed to be at the Niners game. Santa Clara was supposed to supply the tech world with the football, and that didn't go over too well. They forgot to put a roof on that stadium. It's way too hot for all them youngsters.
We just got through the draft, so I'll say this to anybody listening. If in your lifetime you don't get to go to the black hole before there's no longer a black hole to go to, you are missing out on, like, literally, it's the greatest thing ever. Like, every hype, every situation, and I recommend this, hit Andrew up when you do go, because you got to go on a tour of the bullet holes. Like, and you got to go for the swap meet that happens before the game and the cosplay. Like, there's cosplay and a swap meet before every game. Am I underselling it?
You can buy a few things in the parking lot. Yes, sir.
Right? It looks like a full-on swap meet, right? Everybody brings, like, you guys are tailgate extremers. And then they all dress up like some form of a raider in some kind of cosplay thing. And I'm assuming you've actually seen sex in the parking lot as well over the years. And may have even been involved with...
oh my gosh, there he goes. Look
at your wife. I'm going to ask her questions.
Yeah.
I want to know, before the Raider game, have you gotten too charged up before the Raider game?
No, A's game, possibly.
Wow, bro, wow.
You know, you sneak up to that Mount Davis.
Your wife. I mean, if you sneeze on her,
sneak up to that Mount Davis, boy. I'm
gonna get in so much trouble. The 5 family members are gonna be so pissed. Go to fightnetradio.com, click on the Facebook page, click on the events page. We have a thing we like to call the meet and drink. Yeah, I came up with that. I'm gonna see if meetandrink.com exists. I probably should have bought that, or Drink and Meet, one of those two. I'm going to trademark one of those bad boys because it's a Fight Net Radio exclusive. So here's how it works. Usually on a show just like this or the one on Friday, I'll probably say what the secret word is at both of them. F&R regulars will know what it is. People who listen to this show, it'll be on one of the opening videos. So today's secret word, Andrew, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
To get free drinks, so you just don't walk up to me and go, hey, I saw your post. Give me my free drink. Okay, cool. Dude, what's the word? For this fight, Andrew, it's Oscar De La Hoya. Because I think he stole the show today. Me personally, I think Oscar stole the show today. So if you come up to me and tell me Oscar De La Hoya is your favorite fighter, you get free drinks, bro. you get free drinks. You might even wind up going to a buffet with me, depending on my mood. And there is a rumor some of the FNR regulars are thinking of driving up for the Box Fan Expo. I'm going to take, I still think this, I think Sammy's going to go with me, who is, for those of you who don't know or not regulars of the show, I take Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I can find no excuse not to go. Did I say that correctly? No excuse not to go. I don't have a good excuse not to go. Yeah, something roughly to that effect. The words sound right.
Yeah, that works.
And Sammy would agree with that. He just happens to be my friend as well. He wants to get his kids into amateur boxing, and you know how they do that amateur boxing before the event. I said, well, if you're serious, that's where you go, and that's where you meet people, and that's how you find sponsors. You go, you shake the press, tell them you have a team, you get people that are interested in sponsoring schools. Like, this is the kind of event to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Nice.
Plus, I drive back in the middle of the night. It's always good to have somebody in the car with me in case it got sketchy the last time. My adventures coming back from the last Las Vegas trip were not undersold by any form whatsoever. Back to the news. Did you post anything about this next story about Eddie Hearn's dad? Will I find it on the timeline?
You know what? I don't think I did that one. I'm sorry, Lee. No, I was kind of.
Let's just Google it. For those of you who don't know, Andrew is obsessed with one particular
story. What do you mean
story.
I'm obsessed? What are you talking about? Everybody.
You know what? I'm just like the rest of the media, Andrew.
Hey, I'm telling you,
I don't want to talk about racial matters on this show. I think they're talked about too much by the white guy. Okay, the white guy on your show who isn't really. For those of you who aren't regular listeners, I'm about as much white as I am Native American Indian, which is kind of a joke, but I look really white. In fact, I'm sitting here without my shirt on and the fan on, and I'm watering my grass in the middle of a drought. I mean, I'm as waspy ass white as it gets. Is it jacked up that I had a broken sprinkler and I still just flooded the lawn anyway in the middle of a drought?
That's never good with the neighbor.
They're Asian. Keep that down. I think they think I'm secretly Asian. Let's see if we can find news about Eddie Hearn's dad's comments. For those of you who don't know, Eddie Hearn's dad made some crazy ass comments. So much so that Eddie Hearn had to have responses to Eddie Hearn's dad. But Eddie Hearn's dad's comment, let's see if it comes up.
I don't take kindly. He needs to watch what he's saying. See,
wow, I think they scrubbed the internet to get it off. All right, let's set this all up.
So Barry Hearn. Put Barry Hearn's comments on slave trader.
Slave trading. And by the way, for those of you watching the video or listening to this, that
was him. Yeah, everything that we're saying is going to be by Eddie Hearn's father.
Let's see how this goes. This comes to us from the express.co.uk. So it's the truth, Andrew. It's one of those UK papers. They never lie. All right, let's see what we got. If this thing will come up. Tyson Fury has given Eddie Hearn some interesting advice after promoter's father Gary gave his opinion on how money talks in boxing. Following the senior Hearn's comment at a Dillian White press conference, yes.
I want you.
Oh, wait, we'll save you for a second. We'll come back to you, Tyson.
I think I got it right here, so I'm going to play this for you over the air, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Fight arrangement with Dylan White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss. The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dylan White. I have to be respectful. Bear this in mind.
Did I miss the slave trading part?
Oh my gosh, you didn't hear all that?
Do that again. I heard the gotta be respectful. I want to hear the slave trading again.
Okay, yeah. All right, here we go.
At Matchroom Sport, have a fight-by-fight arrangement with Dylan White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. It was much easier. We were slave traders. We had these guys and they were working for us and we was the boss. The pendulum has swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dillian White.
Okay, I didn't hear slave trading. I heard when they
my God,
were working
Lee.
for
Okay,
us.
no, listen to it, man. He says it right away. This is only 25 seconds. He says it real fast. He says it in the beginning. Here we go.
Okay.
Bear this in mind that Matchroom Sport have a fight-by-fight arrangement with Dillian White. Isn't that weird? Why do we have... He's not tied up like the slave contract of yesteryear. When I was running boxing, it was much
Okay, the
easier.
slave contract of yesteryear. Yeah.
No,
That's what I
no. Okay, that's the first time. Now watch this.
Okay.
These guys, and they were working for us, and we was the boss. The
These guys were
pendulum
working.
swung. Now I have to say, Mr. Dillian White.
Right. No, I'm with you. It's shitty. Let's get Tyson's Fury's comment on what his dad said. Let's see if I can get this to work, which is now not working, of course. Why are you not working? After all that and cutting in twice, Tyson, how come I can't get your comments?
Oh, he's going to cut in. Don't worry.
Of course, when I don't want it to. All
exactly.
Eddie, please sort that out. He's ruining the job for you. First of all, he's talking about slaves and slave driving with Dillian White. Next, he's saying the public, you don't like it, don't pay for it. You know, everything's pay-per-view. I'm not bothered if you buy it or not. And then he's getting incorrect information with Tom Schwartz, because we both know he's ranked number 2 in WBO and in the top 10 in the IBF. Best thing to do, Eddie, is give him another can of beer and put him back in the cupboard, the old red face Bill. Wow. Give him a 4-pack of Stella and put him back where he belongs before he ruins your job for you. And then you try to charm everybody with your big smile and your handsome road face when your dad's coming out and mocking you all up.
Oh, good for you, Tyson.
No, he's absolutely right, though.
Give him a can of beer and put him back in the cupboard.
Lee, we're talking about $1 billion deal here. All right, Dazin might be a little bit upset with the remarks of his father. If I'm Eddie Hearn, I'm a little bit nervous on what his dad did this week. I don't know how Anthony Joshua looks at his father again. Seriously, that was very inappropriate what he said. All these guys that always say, "Oh, America and racism." Do you think you would ever see a white promoter, Bob Arum or something, sit on a podium and talk about being a slave trader and how things have changed, and now I have to call this guy Mr.? Are you serious right now? I feel bad for Dillian White for not getting up and slapping the fucking taste right out of that man's mouth, breaking his fucking jaw right where he stands. He's a brave dude for not getting up on him. Takes a strong man to walk away at some fucking pitiful comments like that. Yeah, I was very shook up. I was like, dude, this guy's ruining a lot. You know, Anthony Joshua gets pissed off and goes and signs with Al Heyman. This is all going to get fucked up really fast.
Okay. With all that said, Andrew, do you think that Eddie Hearn is going to fire his dad?
I think he has to. Yes, I do. I think Eddie needs to make a drastic change here in his company. There's some times where you just got to part ways. And Lee, there was so much wrong in that comment. I mean, he just keeps going and going. Forget about the fact that he said he's a slave trader. The fact that he said I have to call him Mr. now. Like, what does that mean? What, in 2019 you finally decided to start treating him as an equal?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Dude, if you're Anthony Joshua and he's all tied up to his religion, he's always in Africa. You know what I'm saying, Lee?
Oh, bro, he's an actual activist. I mean,
know.
His idol's Muhammad Ali. Like, there's all kinds of
bad stuff going on here, because I don't know how he walks back into their building with that man in the room.
And we think we're so refined in 2019. So refined. We are so not refined. So in the words of Tyson Fury, give him a 4-pack of Stella and put him back where he belongs before he ruins your job for you. I agree. I agree. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, my biggest issue is, why am I looking at express.co.uk? Is everybody afraid of Eddie Hearn or DAZN or money or going to a fight where this isn't picked up by mainstream media? Like, I'm really shocked that I'm searching this hard to find this story.
In America, in America, it'd be a lot bigger. I don't know I don't know, Lee. Maybe they're, I can't talk for why the UK isn't.
No, I can talk on why. Look, every writer's aware. If you're aware of it, the writers here in the States are aware of it. I'll say it. The boxing writers are pussies.
Like, is it on ESPN? Can we find? Did Dan Rayfield have anything?
It didn't come up at all. It didn't come up.
Not even Yahoo Sports, nothing, huh? All right.
Nope. It only came up in the UK, and that's because the writers of the boxing community are a bunch of, like, Steve Kim's not doing a story on this, dude. It's not going to happen. Lance Pugmire's not sitting down at the LA Times writing a racist piece on Eddie Hearn. It's just not happening.
And it's not on Eddie Hearn. It's on his father.
I get that, but this is a story.
I think the pressure's going to come down on Eddie that his dad can no longer do public announcements for his company, especially if he wants to work with DAZN. I mean, if DAZN's lucky that this didn't catch fire, because if it does, then this isn't something they don't want to be tied up into. They're in the sports world business, correct? It's not just boxing. Do you know how many freaking other athletes they have to talk to? And you got a man who made a comment like this on your company? $1 billion. You guys, that's not short money. You know, we're over here talking about 100 million's a lot. Eddie just got $1 billion from these guys, and his father's making a comment like this.
Well, Andrew, his dad was correct in one thing. It was much easier when we owned him. I mean, it was.
When the promoters had a little bit more control, yes, I understand that. But the way he worded it is, no, you cannot do that. No way. Like I said, Dillian White, the way he laughed that off, to all the credit in the world, I would not have been in that boy's shit so fast. I would have showed him real fast how times have changed. You don't get away talking like that anymore. I tell you like that, Lee, you do not get away with that shit anymore.
It was pretty shocking.
I never heard anything like that. Come on. He goes, oh, no, I have to call.
Actually, I'll take it back to the Bob Arum piece we did a week ago, which nobody ran with the Bob Arum piece.
It's still not as bad, Lee.
It's still not as bad, but hey, look, anything that's racially motivated in boxing is like the biggest taboo for the writers, right? They don't want to talk about it because it's taboo. Oh, we don't make fights based on race. We don't. Bob was just, talking, how he really feels that they're racially motivated at the PBC. Look, when Bob said, don't make a fight with Whitey, that's some pretty racist stuff, man. I mean, it's a bizarre level of racism that we're discussing here between these two situations. But over the course of 2 weeks, and I'll keep saying it, and I know nobody likes it when I say it, race is a huge factor in boxing, right? It's how betting works. It's how fights are made. It's how they draw crowds. And for those of you who don't believe it, here we are back-to-back weeks where Bob Hearn makes a comment, oh, don't make the fight because it's Whitey, right? That's the quote. And here we are a week later, and you got the promoter's dad, the promoter, the guy many consider to be the biggest and most popular promoter of boxing right now, his dad with Dillian White, one of his prospects, right? Talking about slaves and making direct comments as such. Here we are. We're so refined in 2019. It's ridiculous. And I'm the guy who's out of line. I'm the guy who's picking on everybody too. No, none of us are refined. We're all a bunch of jerks. I mean, you can either have it one way or the other. You can't have it both ways, right? You can either make fun of everybody and everybody's got to be cool with it, or you got to go the other way and you've got to be respectful and understanding of everybody's position. However, I will say this, Andrew, and don't talk me off of this. stupid white guys are stupid white guys. And Eddie Hearn's dad definitely is falling into the category of stupid white guys. I would even say it to Bob. Bob, that's a stupid white guy comment. Like, you can't say that shit. You can't say that. I love Top Rank. You know this. Like, I took coffee to Chris Algieri. I mean, there's nothing that Top Rank could call me and say, hey, Lee, would you mind? Yeah, I'll do it. What do you need? You want me to run a piece? What? I'm as much a fan of Top Rank as anybody can get, okay? With that said, Bob, you said a stupid white guy thing. Like, you had a stupid white guy moment. You can't say that shit, Bob. Like, again, we're back in that Bob era meeting room, right? Bob, you can't. Why can't I say it? It's true. You know Al Heyman doesn't like the old whitey. Bro, you can't say it. You can't say it. We can keep a lid on it because, we'll just give some, a bowl of kibble to Dan Rayfield and he won't write a story. And we'll make sure that Steve Kim actually gets a paycheck so he won't say anything. But maybe one of these guys. What?
And to be honest with you, Bob Arum has no proof that Al Heyman is like that. Al Heyman has worked across the table with Bob Arum.
We don't even know if Al Heyman's real.
But you know what I'm saying, Lee. That was very uncalled for. Lou DiBella is one of the faces of PBC. Al Heyman has no problem.
Finkel. I mean, he's tied up. But again,
Shelley Finkel. There's another one, yes, sir. I mean,
it's a Jewish conspiracy, Andrew.
No, Bob was drinking a little too much. I think you're right. You're right. He had a dumb white moment right there.
Right. And white guys do dumb shit. Like, white guys can't stop being dumb white.
Lee, I think he was trying to go viral with the comment. He was trying to make a fight out of it. He knows they're close to 86ing Terrence Crawford out of this tournament. There's going to be a welterweight tournament. It's strap season, people, and Terrence Crawford's WBO is not invited. So that's basically what Bob Arum's seen coming down, and he tried to go viral. He tried to make a fight, something out of nothing. The Amir Khan fight, I'm sorry, it turned out to be a big nothing. What was supposed to be a spectacular knockout for Terrence Crawford that would catapult him into the houses of America, a household name, make him somebody. It didn't work out. It really didn't. I think Terrence Crawford is going to have to leave the division because of it. They can stay around and try to fight a Danny Garcia, possibly even an Adrian Broner, but there's even rumors now that Broner's moving out of the welterweight division. So I don't know what's left. Cal Brook. We talked about Cal Brook last week. There's been a lot of, not too many people are buying into that fight. It's another Amir Khan fight, right, Lee? He takes on Cal Brook. What do you get out of beating that guy?
You don't, but you get the O2 sold out. I mean, that's what you get.
We hope.
As I said, and I called it right after his fight, the way that fight played out, we can all discuss till we're blue in the face. I didn't quit. He's got to apologize. All right, just everybody shut the hell up. All right, you guys just need to calm down on the topic. The way he handled that in a losing effort, I thought, and I'll say it again, Amir Khan was brilliant. He got himself one more payday with Kel Brook.
Well, no, but I'm talking about Crawford. No, Crawford and Kel Brook, Lee.
Oh, I think Amir Khan's going to get that fight. You watch. Watch.
Right. Well, he's not going to be able to offer more money than what Top Rank's going to offer for Crawford because they're going to put it on pay-per-view. So now maybe in the UK they do fine, but right now the rumor is Kel Brook and Crawford. But no one's buying into it. I'm telling you, Crawford's got a serious issue here. And we've seen this coming down the pipeline before the Amir Khan fight. We talked about this happening, and it looks like it is. And I think Bob tried to save it by making it what Lee says, a race issue.
Of course.
They don't want the fight because they don't want Whitey. But I do want to say this about this whole hashtag strap season thing that all you PBC fans love to run with now. In boxing, the number one title for south of the heavyweight division is the pound for pound title. And right now, Spence is in line to fight possibly three guys, right? He's going to fight 2 out of 3. Sean Porter, Thurman, and Pacquiao. The problem is, Lee, none of these men are on the pound for pound list. So even though Spence is going to do his strap season, he's not going to go any higher on the pound for pound ranking than where Terrence Crawford is, because Terrence Crawford is a 2-time division lineal champ. Okay, he's been through 2 divisions where he unified and was the lineal champ of them both. So that's why he's higher on the pound for pound ranking. Now in boxing, that's what you wanted. You wanted to be the pound for pound best fighter in the world. So now we don't want that title. We just want strap season. We're just going to go out and fight all these other champs, even though they don't make you the best fighter in the division. It's a real strange thing where we've gotten now with these belts. You're seeing Deontay Wilder holding on to his title, and now everyone's acting like, oh, well, he's the WBC champ. Who cares? He's the 3rd best fighter in the world. If he wants to be number 1, he has to fight one of the other top 2 guys, not Kaonaki, not Luis Ortiz. They're saying Deontay Wilder showed up until December of this year already. Fighting who? So, it's just getting a real annoying. 5 years ago, these belts meant nothing. No one cared about a belt, right? When De La Hoya bought the Ring magazine and took over the ratings, HBO acted like these belts were nothing, and we just wanted to see the best fighters fight each other. Now we're going back. Now PBC is having us believe Spence should be rated higher than Crawford because he beats 2 guys that are not even on the pound for pound ranking. You're fucking crazy. He's doing all that for nothing. That's all for nothing. And a year and a half from now, he's going to come back, and Terrence Crawford's still going to be better than you because he was better than you.
But that's how fickle the PBC fans are. Well, of course, because you're part white, Andrew, you don't understand. Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you and break it down to you. This is part of the system trying to keep down black fighters.
What?
You heard me.
Don't start.
Have you not looked at what PBC fans actually say? Like, have you not really examined, like, they're seeing this as some weird, we're gaming the system and winning. And I'm not saying it to be a jerk or even to sound like I'm a white guy. That's the prevailing attitude on social media from the fans. I'm not even talking about the writers. The writers don't play this game, and credit to them. They try to call this one fairly closely, except, of course, boxing scene. As we've pointed out on this show, and as I pointed out to as many boxing writers as I can, boxing scene is owned by CBS, which is ultimately in bed with the PBC, which means they're ultimately a mouthpiece for the PBC. With all of that said, if you're the PBC and you're just trying to keep the fans happy, because the fans in their mind need to have Spence Crawford, right? They need to have this fight happen. The 1% of us that actually understand boxing, right? I'll be fair. Okay, I'll even be more fair than that. 20% of people who watch boxing really understand, Andrew. Is that fair? 20%?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. The importance of Spence Crawford and how difficult it would be to make that match. The other 80%, if you give them Spence Thurman or Spence Porter, they're happy. Right?
Well, this Spence Porter, I don't know if that they're even.
I don't know if they serve up any of their fighters to each other. Not in this division.
They're about to. They're about to do a welterweight tournament without Terrence Crawford. I just named the 4 fighters. Look, they keep sending out these rumor is these deals are close, right? We've been hearing this for like a month already that these 2 fights are very close. How long have they been saying Pacquiao Thurman's very close to being signed?
Right.
So they are going to do this tournament right here. Crawford's not involved. My thing is though, Lee, Sean Porter is not the best champion in the welterweight division. Keith Thurman he's only had 1 fight in 2 fucking years. He is not the champion of the division. There's one champion in that division, and it's the man that went up and beat the man. And the man of that division was Manny Pacquiao, who lost to Jeff Horn. And then Jeff Horn got knocked the fuck out by Terrence Crawford. That makes him the man, Spence. That's the guy you want a gun for, not fucking Sean Porter, who won a vacant title with Danny fucking Garcia. Were both of them coming off losses? Spence puts out a thing saying Crawford's taking his leftovers going after Brooke, yet Sean Porter lost to Kell Brook. Am I lying? So what the fuck are you doing?
I think you need to really prepare yourself for the PBC to make a tournament if they really do it. And by the way, I say if they really do a tournament of Thurman, Porter, Spence, Pacquiao, Garcia.
Yep.
Like I could see that 6-man tournament all day.
I know. That's what I was trying to avoid. That's what I told.
There's nothing to avoid, Andrew.
Bullshit.
If I own the UFC, the UFC guys are only fighting the UFC guys. If I own the PBC, PBC guys are only fighting PBC guys.
Sean, Eroy Spence just fought Mikey Garcia, 2 undefeated top contenders, top champions, 2 of their best in the PBC. Hey, why aren't they releasing those fucking numbers, those pay-per-view numbers? Because nobody watched. That's why. Because they didn't do as good as they thought they were going to do. That's why those numbers weren't released. Let me tell you, Porter versus fucking Spence, it's got the same recipe. Nobody out of the PBC fans care about Sean Porter versus Spence. No one's staying home on Saturday for that. A casual fan isn't.
Andrew, we would.
No, we're not. Lee, I just gave you Mikey Garcia is better than Porter. Mikey Garcia has a bigger fan base than Porter.
I'm just telling you, we'd stay home and watch it.
No, we wouldn't. I'm telling
you. Go to the bar.
I'm telling you right now, then why didn't they stay home for Garcia? Why aren't they staying home? Why wasn't the
I know the truth, and this is more of a marketing thing for the PBC. The PBC really thinks because we've got champions, that's a draw. And that's not how marketing works. That's not even how boxing works. The reason you get viewers.
That's right.
Well, it's the truth, dude. Yeah. They're not telling these stories. They're not making us care about these fighters. Look, you can make us care. Look, we cared more about the Jeff Horn, Manny Pacquiao saga before and after that fight for a guy named Jeff Horn. Like, we shouldn't know who Jeff Horn is. Really?
Hey, Jeff Horn, yeah, but he beat Pacquiao. So, I mean, none of those other guys stepped up to even fight him. So give props to Jeff Horn for doing that. Let me tell you, Keith Thurman was just almost knocked out by Josito fucking Lopez, right? But that's the champion we want to see fight Spence right now? No, it's not. We know it's not. Let Thurman heal himself. Give him some more warm-up fights because obviously he doesn't look like the guy he used to 2 years ago if Josito Lopez is on the brink of knocking your ass out.
Nothing's going to change, Andrew.
Oh, I know it's not. No, we lost that. The clock is out on that. That's why I've already went to plan B, and that's for Crawford to move on. He needs to go for the pound-for-pound title. That's the dream match down. I want to make a correction from last week. I had it wrong, and this is a big fucking problem that for Bob Arum. In the 140 division, the junior welterweight division, Regis Prograis is not a top-ranked fighter. I had that wrong. When he was fighting Joel Diaz, I thought he was under top-ranked. He's a Lou DiBella guy. He's not tied to the PBC, though.
That's fine. Don't know. He can get a Lou DiBella fight.
But Lou's tied to the PBC. Lou has a lot of connections. So if this kid continues to rise in the 140 division as a pound-for-pound fighter, they can move him to fight Spence and pass Jose Ramirez, pass Lomachenko, and pass Crawford, right? And then he can go up to welterweights and fight all those PBC guys. So Bob Arum's got some serious issues happening here. He needs to start bringing his other prospects up or whatnot. But yeah, that Regis Prograis is not a top-ranked fighter, and that's a big hiccup for my prediction that they were going to have this pound for pound.
Yeah, because
tournament.
you can't go up. You run into the herds.
And he's too small. Crawford's too small. He's couldn't do that.
And again, dominated completely by PBC guys. Dominated.
Yep.
They've got it locked up.
They got Jaime Munguia.
Butt down.
Yes, Jaime Munguia is the only Golden Boy right there, the only Golden Boy fighter. Last few fights, he hasn't really looked that good. So now, that looks like a totally PBC future. Yeah, he's got to go down, but there's a big problem with Prograis not being a top-ranked guy. I thought Bob had that sewed up. I thought Ramirez, Prograis, Lomachenko, and Crawford would be their tournament. With Prograis now being with Lou DiBella, I have no idea where he's going to take that man.
Right. There's nothing he can't do. Terrence Crawford's stuck until the PBC goes out of business, and
You know, and
everybody's
that's
knocking
why
on the door.
that's why a lot of them are saying he should have left Bob Arum on the last signing. They see now they're trying to turn this around, saying he was the one running from Spence because he knew this was he should have known this was going to happen to him. He should have seen this coming in the forecast at the welterweight division, Lee.
Well, Bob is under the belief because he's gotten this to work, right? The only time Bob has had a fight with anybody in the PBC, as well as Eddie Hearn having a fight with anybody in the PBC, is when the belt the belt forces them to make the fight or fear of losing the belt. And as long as
this is going to have to be done by the fans. I'm sorry, there is no belt power.
Fans are pussies. I mean, I
Lee,
get it.
Once again, I gotta keep reminding you, they did not show up for Spence's first pay-per-view. Okay, there are no reports that Spence is the new Floyd Mayweather of boxing. None. Those did not hit the wire. So, and that was a very good opponent he had. He had a 3-division champ, undefeated from Southern California, the right skin color. You guys know what I mean. Boxing, Mexican, they have a fan base. His numbers did not come out.
I'm just telling you how it all plays out. I'm just telling you how it all plays out in the end. And when it plays out in the end, Spence, Porter, and Thurman are all paper champions. And unless the WBA, let's just rule out the WBC, right? Porter's not going to lose the WBC as long as he fights anybody in the top 20. The IBF has shown that they're willing to work. The WBO works directly with Bob, and Bob's already got that title, so there's nothing to do there. I mean, maybe the WBA, maybe. But if Thurman fights Manny Pacquiao, there's no way the WBA is going to screw with that belt, right? I mean, that's reality. That's where we are in boxing. It's the sad fact of we're not going to get super fights right now. And that's why I said, I don't know why fans are, I guess they are voicing their opinion, right? Nobody watched Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence because we knew it was going to be what it was. The betting public knew what it was. That it was 2001, Andrew, or 2100 or whatever crazy number it was. It was a 201 fighter or whatever crazy number it was. It was obvious. That's the way the betting was. Nobody expected any different outcome. And it played out. And that's why they haven't released numbers. And if anybody listening to this or any of you PBC diehards who listen to this show, and I don't know how you listen to this show and be a PBC loyalist, I think PBC has hurt boxing. I think they had the right intention. I think going in and thinking you're going to mirror the UFC's model, we're going to do this, we're going to put everybody in certain weight classes in that make money, and we're going to make everybody fight everybody. If that were true, Thurman, Porter, Spence would have already have run the tournament, and you'd already have a unified champ. I mean, that's it. That's the bottom line. And you haven't done it. You've had plenty of time to do it. Don't, because the fans are like already telling. That's what the Mikey Garcia fight should tell the PBC and Showtime. We're not into this PBC thing anymore. We're not into it. You're lying to us. I'm not in Texas, so I don't know this. I only know what happens here in LA. You're telling me that arguably last year's best fight has to give away tickets the week before the fight, right? You're telling me you guys didn't give away seats to a stadium to fill it up? You want me to believe that you didn't have to give away seats? You're telling me everybody paid a dime of those. What did they say? 40,000, 50,000 showed up?
It was like 40 something. Yeah, high 40s.
Okay. You would release that number and tell me what your gate was if you had 40,000 or 50,000 paying.
That's absolutely right.
Even if it was $20 a seat, that's a big number anyway. You would have released that number. You didn't do it. You sure as heck didn't do it. I mean, I get why the boxing writers don't talk about it. I get that everybody's got skin in the game. And at the end of the day, none of the boxing writers want to lose the possibility of going to a free fight. I don't have any love for the PBC. Never have, never will. Okay. And not to mention, for me to get into a Mayweather or a PBC fight seems to be like pulling teeth to begin with. So I'll tell you how it is. The PBC is dragging down the welterweight division. And I think that the Dallas situation, and I'll call it that, the Dallas situation, don't call it Spence versus Garcia. They served up Mikey Garcia thinking, fuck Mikey Garcia. He wants to go and be a free agent. Fine. We're still his management team for a fight or two or whatever that deal still is. But he's not under PBC contract. Serve him to Spence. Serve him. They served up their undefeated guy with a fan following in Texas. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first time to my knowledge that the PBC has done anything remotely like that, right? And I'll say it again as proof. Spence could fight Porter. Spence could fight Thurman. They could do a round robin. Hell, they could throw Manny Pacquiao and Danny Garcia into the mix. And you're telling me you're going to do it now? I'll tell you why you're going to do it now. Because Terrence Crawford, Bob Arum's team that control a lot of social media are shitting on you guys. So now your only response is, he's WBO. He can't fight in this tournament. It's only for the 3 major belts. We're gonna crown a unified champion in a round robin tournament, and we're gonna get all these fighters approved, which are all PBC guys. We're gonna bleed this thing out. We're gonna get the fans on our side. I can see the logic of that meeting, Andrew. If I sat in
look at the ages, Lee. Look at the ages. Who's the youngest one on those top fighters?
Right. It's you're hoping to get everything on Errol's shoulders.
Yeah.
In 2 years, if you can get all the belts on Spence over the course of the next year, right?
Yes. Crawford will be 33 years old by the time he sees Spence.
Yeah. Right. Right. Straight up. It's a straight up, and I'll say it again, if you guys don't believe that Floyd Mayweather is the mastermind behind all this shit, tell me that's not a Floyd Mayweather move, Andrew.
It is. No, it absolutely is. We know that, but that's not. I don't think he's the mastermind. That's just Al Heyman working that. That's
Heyman, Leonard B, Mayweather. Look,
what do you think, Gervonta Davis
sits down and they have a meeting and go, how are we going to fix this? The fans aren't on our. Okay, so picture this room, Andrew. In this room is Al, right? Al Heyman sitting right here. You guys can picture anybody you want in your mind. He could look like Samuel L. Jackson from Avengers Endgame, for all I know. I have no idea what Al Heyman looks like. There are no photos. Then there's Leonard Ellerbe next to him. Then next to him is Floyd Mayweather. And then next to him is Steven Espinosa, who's nervous and looking like he's done a lot of cocaine and has been up for 3 days. You know why? Because he's waiting for his bosses to call him and fire his ass because he's an incompetent nincompoop. And then there are a bunch of kids sitting around who are all staring at their Twitter feeds because they're getting blown up by the fans and Bob Arum and the crazy comments that are floating around. And somebody just pipes up and says, well, why don't you just get a unified champion? I mean, if you tie these guys up for the next 2 years in the biggest welterweight tournament of all time to declare one ultimate welterweight champion, I can see this, Andrew, all the way. Like, this is, honestly, Steven Espinosa is probably, they're all pay-per-view fights. We'll do them all on pay-per-view, right? He's wetting himself thinking what he's going to go back to the Showtime executives to save his job. I put it together. I'll get the money squared away. We'll, whatever we got to do, we'll get the sponsors, right? I can't believe a cat just walked in and knocked over my trash can. Man, no shame in that cat's game, Andrew. So this meeting goes down. Somebody comes up with this plan. And, Floyd sits back with the $1 million smile and he goes, yeah, and by the time you're done, then you can fight Crawford. And Crawford will be what? 33, 34, maybe even 35 if we play this thing right.
Yeah, get a rematch out of one of them.
Right?
Yep.
And Terrence will take the fight. You know why? Because we'll have the undisputed champion under contract to us. We'll bleed this division out for all we can. If we're lucky, maybe it's Pacquiao. Who knows?
No, he's 40. Lee's 40 years old. He's done.
I understand, and I can't see him wanting to fight in a tournament personally. Okay.
Well, he's gonna fight, but I don't have him getting past Thurman, dude. I think Manny's just too old now. I don't know. I don't have him.
If they don't drug test him, I think he's in the tournament all the way.
And if he gets past Thurman, it's hard to get past Spence. He's got a hard road ahead of him in these next 2 fights.
I'm just telling you where this is going to go. Like, this is the reality. And Crawford is SOL. If I were Crawford, hold your WBO belt, take whoever the mandatory champion is, go down a weight class, go up a weight class, just go get paid for a couple of years and just whatever.
He's got
whatever he wants to do. Look, he can go up or he can go down and fight WBO guys and just be happy.
Lee, Jaime Munguia is like 6 foot, dude. Jarrett Hurd is like 6 foot. Like, I don't see Terrence Crawford going to junior middleweights. He's got to drop down. The thing was, go to welterweight and fight Pacquiao. But Pacquiao started bitching out, right? Him and Freddie Roach were like, we don't want Terrence Crawford. Give us $30 million. Give us $50 million. Bob's like, all right, well, here, fight Jeff Horn. Rob him. Bam. Took the belt.
Who's Hooker under contract to?
Huh?
Who's Maurice Hooker under contract to?
Floyd. I think he's Floyd Mayweather.
Okay, so he's not going to get Maurice Hooker. However, Bob is in the pocket of the WBO. Right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to play out, Lee. I'm telling you, that Regis Prograis really threw a wrench into shit. I thought this was all top-ranked division lower, and now it's not. And seriously, Al Heyman might have his fingerprints on Prograis already because of the Bella ties. So, you know, Prograis gets one more big win in the junior welterweights. You might see DeBella go, okay, we're moving to 147 now, and that's it. They're done. Jose Ramirez has no one. Jose Ramirez and Terrence Crawford be fighting in Fresno.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, that's nice. My screen froze up, but we're still recording. Let's move quickly over to Bob. They had media workouts for Gabe today. They've got a fight on Saturday, so here's a shout out. Gabe Flores celebrated his 19th birthday at Los Galos. Wow. Nice of my email to go to a different story that I don't even want to discuss. Really? I was literally reading this. There it is. All right. So here we are. Gabriel Flores Jr. celebrated his 19th birthday Wednesday at Los Gallos Boxing Academy in his hometown 3 days before he makes his ESPN televised homecoming in front of an expected crowd of more than 10,000 at Stockton Arena. Do you want to bet on whether or not they can get 10,000 or are they giving away tickets? I mean, I'm just being brutally honest.
Bob Arum knows how to pack a little arena, so Top Rank's usually good. I don't know if that means giving away. I don't know how they do it, but they're very good at packing arenas.
Flores, who's 12-0 with 5 KOs, will take on Eduardo Piera, who's 23-5, 19 KOs in a 6-round lightweight showdown, which will be televised in between a pair of highly anticipated World Championship bouts. In the main event, IBF lightweight world champion Artur Butterbean. You like Artur Butterbean, don't you, Andrew?
Yeah, it's light heavyweight, isn't it?
For those of you who don't, he's a light heavyweight. For those of you who don't know what makes Artur interesting, 13-0 with 13 KOs. This dude's legit. The only world champion in boxing with a 100% knockout ratio. Nice way for the press department to point that out. Will fight the hard-hitting Radival Hodrod Shamalama Ding Dong, who's 24-1 with 17 KOs. So they got another MTK guy to take the fall. He's fighting for his green card, Andrew. And in the co-feature, Jerwin Pretty Boy Ancajas, another one of Andrew's favorites, will make the 7th defense of the IBF Junior Bantamweight World Title against #1 contender. He's going to fight Funai. Actually, this is a pretty good fight. Actually, this co-main, for those of you who don't know, if you don't know Funai or you know Ancajas, this is not a bad fight, Andrew.
Right.
I actually like this junior bantamweight fight a lot. That's a lot of boxing to watch on Saturday. I mean, between the two cards, because the Canelo card itself is dog crap. We've already discussed it.
They have the Ortiz Herrera. We want to watch Ortiz Herrera on the Canelo card, and then the Stockton card.
I think everything from the kid on up, right? You want to watch the 19-0 kid, the 13. Whatever he is, 12-0 kid, Flores. Flores, Fanai and Kajas could be fight of the year. Like, that has huge potential. And of course, Butterbean will win by knockout. He just always does. IBF champion Arthur Butterbean can't get another fight because he's the toughest of the light heavyweights. He's another one of those guys that's cut from that wacky ass cloth, like Usyk. Like, they just go in and they're just absolute terrors.
Right.
So that's a pretty good card for Stockton. Interesting. Any comments about the fight on Saturday from Mr. Bob Arum? Because joining us by phone, Andrew, none other than the Bob Father.
Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Talk up the fight.
We just did, Bob. But it's going to be a good fight, Bob. We just
That's
did.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I can like toss some kibble to that fat ass Rayfield, and he'll write 300 words about how I'm the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. And that fucking guy eats a lot of Swiss cheese, Andrew. I mean, have you ever smelled him fart? I mean, he just farts up a storm. It's just epic. I once walked into a bathroom in Vegas after he took a dump. I mean, it smelled like a sewer.
That's a hard voice to do sometimes. It's allergy season. I don't know how long I can make it Bob Father.
Fight Night Radio. FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night.